trying to figure out the best way to take out the music without it being so abrupt as that. But, we live and we learn. Hello, everyone. It's 3:03 and we're going to go ahead and get started, which is exciting. Hello, viewers, new and old, all of the above, etc. Hello. Any housekeeping to be had? Going to start with the fact that this is a surprise episode that we're having today. Very excited about that. Madeline Kendall's episode that was originally scheduled for tomorrow will have to be rescheduled. We're hoping next week, but that means we have a super special two episode today, or a two-doche of sorts. Welcome to episode 11. Don't you mean episode 10? No, that's going to be later on today. Today's a little hectic. It's fine. We're going to get there. But first, I'm going to start with a fun little clip of our guest today. I'm just going to take a moment to share my screen so that you can see that and watch it. Gonna practice this. This has been a hot second since I've done it. But we're getting together the technology and gonna add it to the screen. And here we go.
I sing like boom, boom, boom with amazing melting and wow when I sing in my car. Allow me light, a breath of air. Leave me the only thing I own we cannot share. Just leave me that sweet love of mine. Just leave me that, just my own space, and we'll be fine.
Such gorgeous, lovely singing. Now to introduce this lovely friend of mine. My guest today is a 2019 graduate from the Wagner College Theater Performance Program and has been working as a performer since before she can remember. She's been in countless professional shows and has most recently toured nationally with both Baby Shark Live and Blippi the Musical. She is also a very successful content creator on TikTok. She has over 90,000 followers and counting, and gets millions of likes on her videos, giving millennials flashbacks to early 2000s along with other various trends and sketches. This gal is a small ball of fire and energy who is always such a blast to work with and talk to, and perhaps one of my favorite comedians I've gotten the privilege to work with. This is the Angie Cocuzza.
Laura, that was such a nice introduction.
I'm so glad that I could give you such a nice introduction. You gave me such a great bio. I had to.
Oh, well, what can I say? I've been tooting my own horn since before I was performing. So,
we even have some applause from the audience here. So thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Applause. Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm grand. How are you?
I'm good. Just getting my life together. Trying to do 2 episodes in one day is going to be a interesting run, but I'm very excited and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you know what is more exciting than a two-doche? Truly
Honestly,
nothing.
Truly nothing.
Yeah.
As with most of my guests, always I would like to give the context of how do we know each other, and most of the time the answer is Wagner.
I'm
trying to think about how we actually met. And I've been trying to think through it, and I truly don't know, but here are some theories that I have. I know that I met you on Wagner College audition day when we were both doing our audition for the program.
Yes.
But I think I actually got to know you more through working on The Wedding Singer.
Yes. I think Wedding Singer was probably the first.
Yeah, because we were in the same callback. And then I ended up doing stagehand stuff for the show.
Yes. kilt, by the way.
Thank you. Oh my God, we had so many set pieces for that show in that tiny little space.
That show was larger than life. James Collins was like, I want to do Wedding Singer, but I want to do it as a main stage in a black box. And we were like,
he's like, we're building a water wagon.
And we said, oh,
okay. He told me that if it didn't work on preview, he was going to kill me because I was the one who like, I rigged it. It was fine. It was a whole grand old time. But then of course we had some dance classes together and eventually got to work on Everybody, where you played Love. And that was, I still think about that production all the time. Like I might be holding on to stuff, but like, it was just such a good group of people working on such a beautiful piece.
I agree. No, Everybody was real. It was, it's a special piece in general, but like, it's very, I feel like I always get very like sentimental when I think about like certain casts that's just kind of like fit, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody just works so well together, and there's not like one person where you're like, you know.
Yeah. No, and like which kind of helps considering the fact that like everyone could be anywhere on that stage at any given point. So
yes, 100%. Yeah. And I always like I definitely got lucky being the one.
Yeah, you're like, I'm the one constant. You're like, I just get to watch the chaos unfold.
Exactly. And I always like just loved like, you know, whoever it was that night that got to be Everybody, like just, you know, kind of like feeding off of like their energy and how they would play the Everybody, you know, because each one of the cast, each one of the cast members did it differently in their own like style, which I think is so great. And something that you see like all the time when people play different roles in, you know, different shows, but it's cool to see one person play like a lead like that in one show.
Yeah.
You know,
it was so wild. And I think that's where like the chemistry really was necessary in that cast, because like everyone had to be able to fit each of the combinations however they laid. Because like, as we know, there's like 125 different combinations that could have happened. For those who have zero idea what we're talking about, look into the play Everybody by Brandon Jacob Jenkins. Fantastic piece of work. But the main shtick of it, and I hate to call it a shtick, that sounds like it's reducing it, but like the main thing is that the role of Everybody, as well as four other roles within the play, are determined by a lottery every night. So those 5 people have to memorize all the parts. Talk about swing and understudy work right there. Holy crap. But lovely Angie got to play one of the 3 roles that could just stay the same and didn't have to change up. But I'm sure that was so fun too, because you were playing that scene with a different person every night. And I'm sure like you had like different, not to say different routines with like each person playing Everybody, but I'm sure there was like different little bits that you're like, oh yeah, we do this thing, and you don't with someone else.
Absolutely. No, yeah. It was I forget who was it that played Everybody for most of the performances. I feel like
Kevin had a lot and Bill had a lot.
Kevin and Bill, and their Everybody's were so different, like between the two of them.
They so were, yeah.
And you know, I mean, I'm friends with both of them, obviously. Bill a little bit closer with, I just hang out with more, or you know, but so it was different to like do it with someone who is like, you know, someone that I often hang out with and like, you know, whatever, versus doing it with Kevin, who, you know, I wasn't as like, I don't want to say comfortable because I was comfortable with him, but you know,
but like you just didn't know, like, you know, people at different levels, you know?
Right. Exactly. So, but yeah, no, it was always interesting, like to see what the night was going to hold for us based on the audience lottery.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so electric. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so getting back to like the bit of the show. So how did you first get started in theater?
Oh boy. So
I know it's a big question.
I know, it's like, wow, when I was your age. So when I was younger, supposedly my parents tell me that I would like sing on tables, like in restaurants. And I just like commanded the attention of every room. I think it kind of stemmed from being an only child.
You know, I can kind of relate to that a little bit.
Yeah. Like I loved like making people smile and making people laugh. So, and I also, as a Jersey girl, my first like song that I ever learned was Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, beautiful.
At the tender age of 2. Before I knew like what words were, I was saying Screen Door Sam's, Mary's Dress Waves.
You're like, I got this.
Yeah, I'm like, Bruce Springsteen who? So yeah, I just like, my parents saw that like I really love to perform, and they just got me in dance classes. They got me in acting classes and voice lessons and stuff. And I was very lucky that my parents were able to put me in lessons like that and support me in that way, because I know a lot of people don't get that. So yeah, I was doing that when I was younger. And then so I moved when I was like in elementary school to a different town in New Jersey. Still a Jersey girl, don't worry. And when I moved, it was kind of like I needed to like start over, like, because I didn't know like anybody or any like places where I could go to like train around here. So I kind of kept up with the same voice teacher. Kind of dropped out on the dance classes, which I'm kicking myself for now, which is like so.
No, I feel that too. I was like, I can play soccer in high school, and then I did it for 2 years, and I was like, oh no, I need to get my ass back in class. What
Yeah, you were like, this ain't it.
No.
But yeah, so I obviously did the shows in middle school. I did the shows in high school, and yeah, that just kind of, I was like, I want to do theater. I want to major in theater, and I want to be on Broadway.
on the way abroad. And I always like to ask, because this is very much a Mickey Tenenbaum question. I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think you ever took directing, but you were very much a part of like doing originals and stuff like that. But
I was a big supporter of directing.
Absolutely. Yes. And like a big thing that he always would ask at the very beginning of the semester with all the directors was, what was that light bulb moment of, this is what I want to do? And so that's kind of my overture question of sorts. But what was that moment for you?
That's interesting. I really think, so as I keep saying I'm from Jersey, and like I'm never going to stop saying that. But one of the things that I used to do a lot when I was younger was, there's this radio station in New Jersey called New Jersey 101.5. And they ran, I don't know if I think they still do it. They do a talent show every summer where you can compete to win, like, when they first started it, I think the cash prize was like maybe like $100 or something like that. Like, it was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But we were walking on the Point Pleasant boardwalk down the shore in Jersey, and they just had the signups there. Like, you could just walk up and like sign up for that night. Right. And like, I was like, Daddy, like, I want to do that. I was like literally 4 years old. And my dad was like, well, you can't sing Thunder Road. Like, what are you going to sing? And I was obsessed with Ariel and The Little Mermaid when I was younger.
Of course.
So I was like, Dad, I will sing Part of Your World, obviously. And he was like, okay. So he signed me up, and I got up there in my Little Mermaid costume. Yeah, there are pictures. I will find them.
Oh, thank God.
And I think like from that, like, as silly as it sounds, like, I know you don't really remember stuff like when you're 4, but like getting up there, like on that stage, like in that costume, like obviously I was wearing like a costume from Party City, and there was maybe 20 people in the audience, and it was like on a stage, like on the beach in Point Pleasant. But I was like, this is my Broadway. Like, I am meant to do this like for the rest of my life.
I love that. That's so special, because like it's so fun to hear. I always enjoy that, because like each person's answer is so vastly different, and it's so interesting to hear like how a lot of people's is like, no, when I was like in high school, or like da 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 da. So to hear one from like, no, I was 4 years old.
I was fully 4, dressed as a mermaid, and I was like, this is it.
You're like, this is it. This is the one.
This is peak. This is it.
Well, like, I also remember like those kinds of talent competitions, like with like Radio Disney, they'd be set up in the mall. Like, talk about like, I know we'll get into like our like early 2000s nonsense, but like that one also, like, that's a vivid memory of like, there'd be like mall singing competitions and stuff. And like,
you remember like when they would have new artists like coming up, and they would have mall concerts.
Yes. Insane.
I met Christy Carlson Romano at a mall concert one year. It was when she was playing Belle, like on Broadway, and they had her like come down to the mall down the shore, and she did like a concert.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I met her, and I was like, oh my God, you're Belle.
You're like, that's her. That's
like,
she. That is she.
Oh it's also maybe me.
You're like, I'm gonna replace you one
day.
day.
Literally. I was like, oh my God, you're amazing, but also don't get comfortable.
You were like, watch out.
Watch out, bitch.
Oh my God. So you've always like struck me as this amazing comedic actress, and we've already talked about that already. And what I think, thinking back to like everybody was so fun because you got to do that comedic stuff, but you also got to show off like your serious, deeper side, which I think really speaks to your talents. And if any, this isn't even a question, but I was just sort of like, I think the people need to know. And like I think we can see that a little bit in like that first clip that we played too. Like you have your comedic song, but like you also have your serious song too. So like just putting that out there.
Yeah, as much as I do, I love making people laugh. Obviously, I've mentioned that before, and that is where I like am my most comfy.
Yeah.
But I do like, I love the dramatic stuff too, like crying and yelling and the ugly stuff. Like that's stuff that I usually don't get to do, you know, because I'm often cast as the comedic roles. But yeah, that stuff is just as fun to me as the comedic.
It's it's so great. You really have that theater training, like right at the ready.
Yes, I'm an actor.
I am an actor. Don't forget. Oh my gosh. So before the pandemic, you recently toured with Baby Shark Live and Blippi the Musical. How did these projects come about for you? Like, what was that audition process like?
Yeah, so it's actually truly crazy because I've been with Baby Shark actually since 2019, which is when I graduated. And I was doing summer stock in Ocean City, and the summer stock ended like in August, and the Baby Shark, I got the invited like dance call email while I was in Ocean City, and I was like, oh my God, like cool, like I have an audition when I get back. Awesome. So I go and audition, and then I got a call back, and I was like, oh my God, like if my first like professional contract is or like first tour is Baby Shark Live, I will fling myself out a window. But then I was like, oh, like this is like, you know, as I was like doing the callback material and stuff, I was like, this is fun. Like I actually along with like the comedic stuff, like I did a lot of like TYA, like theater for young audience things, and I have worked a lot with kids, teaching them theater, and I was a party clown as my survival job when I was in college. So I love being goofy. I love being silly, like whether it's for adults, kids, like it doesn't matter. Like so when I was doing the callback stuff, I was like, wow, like I actually really hope I book this. Like this is really fun. And I did. It was crazy. I got back from my contract and I started rehearsals in September of 2019. And so we went, it was just a quick 6-week contract. So I was back like in November, and I was like, oh, okay, like what's happening now? But then they were like, do you want to come back? And I was like, oh my God. You like me. Okay. So that was supposed to be for 2020. So we were set to tour for like spring, like end of winter, spring into like beginning of summer. And then obviously the pandemic happened.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, sorry, we're going to send you home March 15th, you know, the day the world shut down.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so what do I do now? Then I got into TikTok. We can talk about that later. But then the beginning of 2021, they were like, we're going to bring the tour back. Do you want to come back? And I was like,
you're like,
sure, why not? And they were like, cool, we're not just doing Baby Shark. We're also doing this other show that we tour called Blippi. And I was like, what's a Blippi? And they were like, Blippi is this YouTube sensation that the kids are obsessed with. He's kind of like Steve from Blue's Clues, but for like toddlers nowadays.
Oh, interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I mean, okay, sure. Like, if you're going to give me a job, I'm going to take it. Like, right outside this pandemic Lovato, hit me up. So, yeah, we went to Nashville. We had a week of rehearsal for both Baby Shark and Blippi. So we learned a new show.
That's so short.
Yeah. It was
like how, I mean, granted, I'm sure the shows like aren't crazy long, but also at the same time, that's a week.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. Luckily, most of the same cast from Baby Shark came back. So we didn't really have to do much work on Baby Shark. Right. It was more about learning Blippi and kind of getting it up on its feet. But so we learned Blippi, brushed up Baby Shark, did 1 month of Baby Shark, and then did 5 months of Blippi.
Wow.
Yeah. So the kids love Blippi. Like if you ever come into contact with a toddler and you say the word Blippi, that kid will probably like start singing the excavator song. And even though you don't know what that is, like it is triggering to me.
You're like, I feel personally attacked.
I'm like, I'm an excavator. I'm an excavator. Hey, dirt, see you later. I'm an excavator.
Oh my God.
It's all very fun, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Doing it for the kids and getting to see their little faces like out in the audience. Like
I'm
when
sure
you're
that's a
performing.
blast to see them like freaking the frick out.
Oh yeah. Like so in Baby Shark is a little bit they're two kind of different shows. The Blippi show is more Blippi centric because he is like the main character basically.
Mhm.
And you think, you know, Baby Shark, it would be like more Baby Shark centric, but it's the company is called Pink Thong, and which it's a company from Korea, and they were also wanted to put the Pink Thong is also a character too. He's a pink fox.
Gotcha.
So they wanted to put him in the show too. And then they have another friend, Hoagie, who's like a little teal colored hedgehog who is adorable. So they're all in the show, and it's more of like an ensemble show with Baby Shark. And Blippi, it's kind of like Blippi and then like the Blippi buddies. We all play like different kinds of like characters in that show. So yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there, but yeah.
No,
so
that's okay. No, it's so fun though.
Yeah.
And like to show that fun.
Yeah.
I do have a fun clip that we're gonna share.
Bring it on in.
We're just going in. I know. I'm sure it's so strange because you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to watch myself do this, but here we are.
I love it. I love
it's so much fun.
Yeah.
We'll just do like a hot minute of it.
Sure.
Oh, I always forget to do that. I like share on my end, and then I completely forget to add it to the screen.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And that's her, obviously, in the banana costume.
Yes, one of the favorites. Yes, I am on the left. There I go. Yeah. The critically acclaimed. Yes.
Baby Shark song. And you're just living your best life. I love it.
So and you can hear the kids too, like in the audience. They're like screaming at the top of their lungs.
And like the choreography is fantastic, and we could easily keep going. But
yes,
to give you like to give everyone a little taste.
If you happen to want to come see Baby Shark live, let a girl know.
Exactly. You're like, I can hook you up.
I got tickets. I know the Shark personally. So,
but no, like it honestly, seriously does look like an absolute blast.
Yeah, no, like, it is. It's definitely. It's like a party on stage every night, pretty much. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. There are some nights where I'm like, oh my God, I literally cannot for the life of me, like jump to like, I'm going to do a cheeky mark at this point, you know, but like, yeah, most, a
good old lift the leg, like
the leg. I'm like, maybe we could give it a sensible
like
45 today.
Yeah. Just like a little kick.
Yeah. Just a little kick. Nothing crazy. But yeah, that was actually really another thing that was very interesting to me, that is kind of, I feel like a part of theater that people don't talk about too much. And like, when you're doing like 8 shows a week, like your body is not built for that.
No,
you know?
It's not.
So the first 6-week contract, 6 weeks is like relatively short, right? Yeah. As far as contracts go, like, so we didn't really we had like one injury, but like other than that, we have our amazing swing, who is my best friend. You know, I'm a little biased, but she is like, she always says, you know, if you at all feel like, ooh, like my ankle's feeling like a little weird today, like she would rather us take that one day off.
Yeah.
And rest up, you know, instead of like going on stage and hurting yourself even more and then suddenly
being off longer. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and that's super, super smart too.
Yeah, exactly. So that was another thing that I really learned, that more so this last tour was like really just like listening to my body and like figuring out, you know, like right now it's just, today's not the day, and that's okay. Yeah. Like having the swing go on as long as she's ready, and you know, there's no shame in that.
Yeah, it's not a shame thing. It's not like a don't push yourself to like, yeah, I can't reiterate that enough. The like, don't push yourself to do it because you're gonna hurt yourself. And like, there's literally no shame in doing it. It's not like I couldn't do it myself. Like da 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 da. It's like, no, like you're choosing to take care of yourself, which is gonna help everyone in the process.
Exactly. Like, and you know, if you have, we've dealt with this, not just with me, but you know, other cast members too. It's like, if you know that someone's going on and they're kind of a little bit injured, like you're worried throughout the whole show too, because you're like, if I accidentally like, you know, get in their way, like, am I going to make them trip? Am I going to make them hurt more? You know, like it's just like you said, like it's better for the whole cast all around.
Yeah. And it's like, when you have your so much trust in these understudies and swings, give them that opportunity to shine. Like you rest up and then like come back. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yes, exactly. Which, you know, I cannot say enough good things about my friend Jen. She's like swing extraordinaire. You know, she's always on it, always is like, okay. Like she's so in tune, like to the way that we're all feeling, you know, like, if you know, she sees if we're like sniffling a little bit, she's like, so
you're like,
what are you doing? You think maybe you want to take today off? Maybe? Yeah. No? Okay. Oh, you sure? Okay. All right. Well, let me know.
Let me know.
And then she'll go back to the dressing room and she'll like look over her notes, you know, like she's
just to be ready, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's why we need them. We love them. Cannot do things without them.
We really can't. Like, honestly, the amount of like college shows I can think back to where we weren't quite practicing the swing thing yet, really boggles my mind.
I know. And that's really what sucks too about a lot of like college shows. Like 2 weekends is like, sure, but like, you know, it's what, 6 performances? That's nothing, you know, in the course of 2 weeks. Like,
but even then, like there shit happens, you know? And so like to not have swing or understudy stuff in practice is a shame, because like so many people work and get hired to do these roles, but then aren't necessarily taught in college how to do it. And like that's not necessarily just Wagner too, like that's everywhere. Like
absolutely. No, 100%. Yeah, it's like, you know, I feel like with a lot of like college theater, main stage, whatever it is, like, you know, they'll like cast someone as an understudy that they were trying to pick between these 2 people, and they were like, oh, this one was like a little better, but we'll make this person the understudy. And it's like, but that's not what it's about. Like, I don't know.
It's like who can handle being at the ready.
Right.
It's like that. It's not a like who's better situation when it comes to like understudies and swings, which a lot of people, including sometimes the Broadway League president, doesn't always understand.
Interesting.
Interesting. But like, it's so true. It's like being able to have that ability to go like, okay, like being a few steps ahead and knowing like, maybe should I look over those notes, or like being ready to like hop in and like not get terrified.
To do
it. Like,
absolutely. Like I don't know if I would be able to do that, to be honest. Like,
no, I honestly feel the same way. And I wouldn't know until someone like was like, okay, you're going to do this. And I'll be like, okay, let's try it. But
no, exactly. Like, I feel like it's kind of like trial by fire situation. Like, it's like sink or swim. but no, I give, you know, the swings and understudies so much credit.
All the credit.
Yes.
But going to a part of you that you discovered in the pandemic, you pivoted towards TikTok. What has that crazy journey been like?
Oh my God. Okay. So like never did I ever in my life think that I would ever be some sort of like content creator, or like someone with more than like 2,000 followers on any sort of platform. So like,
little did we think the words content creator would mean so much.
No, seriously. Like, I feel like content creator was very much like just like a joke word that people would be like, oh yeah, like I'm a content creator.
And like, it's like, yeah, but what do you really do? But now you're like, oh, you're a content creator.
You're like, oh wow, that's a lot of work, which it is. And I will get into that. But so I like many other millennials, like downloaded TikTok, like started the pandemic, and I was like, you know, just on it scrolling, whatever. And I was like, oh, like this is, at first I was like, oh, this is like Charlie D'Amelio's app. Like, this is like for like, you know, TikTok dancing and like thirst traps and stuff. And I was like, but then as, you know, as your For You page spits out more videos that once the algorithm gets to know you, I was like, oh my God, like there's people on here that are like making comedy videos, like,
yeah,
and making like, there's like a theater talk and there's like dog talk and there's like a bunch of different like sectors of TikTok. That's not just like, Charli D'Amelio dancing in a
right,
bikini
exactly.
top, which, power to her, God bless her, but that's just not me.
Right.
So I was like, like, I'm doing nothing. Like, why don't I just like make some videos, like just see how it goes. So like, yeah, I made like a couple silly videos, which obviously, when you first start making videos, it's like,
Nothing
whatever.
happens.
You're just kind of throwing stuff out there because you think they're funny and you're like, if someone else finds it funny, great.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, as I'm like watching Charli D'Amelio, I really like these dances and I really kind of want to post myself like doing one of these dances because I feel like I could do them.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I'm too old to be doing that. Like, I can't be like thirst trapping on TikTok.
You're like, maybe I'm just like slightly out of the age range.
Yeah.
Acceptable. Like,
yeah. Which again, if that is something that you love to do, not you, but the royal you, power to you. But that is just, I just didn't feel like comfy. Right. So I was like, I was like, but what if like I made like a joke about it? So like, I was like, it's funny because Charli and others, like I keep saying Charli, but she's just like the one that comes to mind,
right.
Think about this. They're all like, 17.
Like crazy, yeah.
Crazy, yeah. But like when I was like, their age younger, like I was dancing the freaking Cotton Eye Joe, like in a basement for like, me and like my 3 friends. And I was like, what if I just like made a funny video, like comparing the two?
And what's funny, I will say though, is that also, even though we were doing the Cotton Eye Joe at that age, we still almost, I would say we kind of still felt like hot shit.
Oh, yeah. Not kind of. When I did the entire Cotton Eye Joe, I was like, I am fuego. Like I am the hottest shit.
Literally the hottest shit
I've ever seen.
Literally dead ass, and it's so funny.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
And that's so that paired with, I was like going through my closet too, like as every millennial did who went back to their parents' house, like cleaning stuff out. And I found this pink polo that I wore for my 7th grade yearbook picture from Abercrombie. I was like, I again am the hottest shit in this pink polo doing the Cotton Eye Joe. Like
literally the hottest shit.
Thank you, Chris. So I was like, oh my God, like I should wear this polo and like put like the gym background and like, do all this stuff like for like the me dancing at 13. And then like, I'll be like, wearing a crop top and like have my hair and makeup done, like for like the Gen Z thing or the Gen Z portion of the dance. And then it just kind of like blew up. It got like 20,000 likes overnight. And I was like, oh my God, what? Like,
for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, you might start to recognize Angie because of this TikTok. And I will share it here in just a second, but feel free to continue talking about.
Yes. Yeah. I'll keep going till you get the video, but it got like, 20 something thousand like overnight. And I was like, at this point it was when I had like, 100 followers and I was like,
right.
What? I was like, am I famous suddenly?
and like debatably so, because I mean, like, look, you made it onto the Today Show.
I did. Very, very casually.
So we're just gonna watch this for a moment.
Yeah, do a little clippy clip.
All right, this is a TikTok actress, Angie Cocuzza.
That gets me every time.
Here, she shows the different ways
Hoda.
that kids
Yeah,
dance.
it's okay.
I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet.
But I hadn't been forgotten, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Sassy, moody, nasty.
Everybody clap your hands.
Acting stupid. What was happening?
To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right.
What was happening?
To the left, to the left.
By the way,
gosh, that's so funny.
Brilliant. I still have a vivid memory of me dancing at some, I don't know whether it was a wedding or somewhere, and my sister was looking at me like,
what were you doing?
I was just being funny.
Yeah.
You're like, thank you, Kathy Lee and Hoda.
I'm like, thank you so much, Kathy, and also Hoda. But yeah, that was wild. That's the day that it ended up on the Today Show. There was like, so it didn't actually end up on the Today Show until like a couple months after.
Yeah.
So at that point I had already had about like 20,000 followers, which again, I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like never in my life did I ever think like 20,000 people would care about content that I'm posting about me dressing up in things that I used to wear when I was in middle school. But yeah, so my friend actually, she worked for NBC at the time. And she was like watching and she was like, are you aware that your TikTok is on like the Hoda and Jenna show right now? And I was like, what? Like I was teaching like kids theater. Like I was at a camp.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I like went to the side. I was like, Meg, can you record it like or something? Because I can't watch it right now, but like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
So I got the clip and
so funny.
Yeah, it's kind of
because I thought they would have like reached out or something to be like, hey, can we like, I wasn't sure how that worked, you know?
Well, they commented, the like verified Today Show account commented on the video and was like, hey, like this is so funny. Can we use it like on the Today Show? And I was like,
yeah,
sure. Like I was like, odds of this actually happening, like slim, but sure, you know, you could use it on the Today Show. And then like, you know, 4 days later, it was on the Today Show. I was
right. Oh my God. And what kills me about that, like literal particular TikTok is like, I definitely wore all those all those exact same clothes.
Yeah.
And also that the gym that's like the picture in the background looks like a little too close to what like my middle school and high school gym looked like. And I was like, ooh, man.
You were like, this is hitting a little bit too close.
A little too close. Also, it's funny because my mom just texted me and she was like, yes, I remember it was on the Today Show because I recorded it and I sent it to you. So like my mom like watched it when it happened. She was like, Angie? So my mom's watching live. So
but no, I know. Oh my God. I completely forgot that you texted. That's so funny.
It was so funny though. But no, I'm sure that was insane. But also like since even like that video, it's been so cool because you've built like more like similar videos of like the contrasting of like millennial Gen Z, and those are all hilarious. But you've also gotten to like build out from there too, which has been so fun.
Yes.
And I have a recent TikTok that I want to play that you did because I absolutely adored it. And I thought it was hilarious. And also I can also imagine the amount of prep time required for it was pretty extensive, at least in terms of like cutting it. I'm going to pull it up in just a second. Okay. You're going to know exactly what
yes.
It's so perfect. Oh my God.
Thank you. Yes, I was actually, so it's funny because being a TikTok content creator is like so different than being a content creator for YouTube, for Instagram, for like all the other social media platforms because of the TikTok algorithm. So once you like go viral, right, you kind of get pigeonholed like into that, whatever content you went viral for, like those are like the only videos that TikTok will push out to people of you. So it's kind of hard. Like you know, dating back to when I made the one that went on the Today Show, I was like, oh, well, I need to do like millennial versus Gen Z for every single one of my videos because that's all people want to see and that's all that I'm going to make. But I was like, A, I'm getting tired of this. B, I feel like other people are getting tired of this. C, it's not as funny anymore. Like D, I can only do so many like comparisons until I'm like really reaching. Like there were some ones that I made where I was like, Angie, this is just not your best work. Like you can do like better stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like I tried to kind of like dabble in like doing other videos and like, but they just weren't getting the views and the likes. And like, that really kind of like hurt me. Cause I was like, what the heck? Like, I felt like I made this video and now I'm trying to make other videos that are like kind of the same, but not really, but like people aren't liking them. But how do I have like 20, 30, 40,000 followers, but only like 100 likes on this video? Like,
oh yeah,
who is seeing it and why are my followers not seeing it, etc.
yeah,
All of these questions. So a lot of that was happening while I was on tour. And I really couldn't keep up with like posting while I was on tour because just mentally, physically, like I was like, I just can't do both. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. Like we can just TikTok and take a back seat. Like it's whatever. Like I can pick it back up when I get home if I want. I don't have to if I don't want. So I got back home and it's funny because when I was on tour, like I did not spend any time on TikTok, literally at all. Like,
wow.
And I spent, before I went, at least like 3 hours of my screen time a day was on TikTok.
Yeah.
Which is like bad. Not great.
Like, also pandemic does things, so
true. And it was like, you know, the habits that I had formed while I was at home. And you know, I live with my parents. So like I'm not gonna be like hanging out with them. You know, I'm just gonna be chilling in my room, either watching Netflix or scrolling social media, right? Yeah. So but when I was on tour, there's always people to hang out with, you know? Yeah. So I was like,
you were like not touching your phone and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I was like, why am I going to spend time on an app like when I can spend time face to face with these people?
Yeah.
So anyway, got home and I was like, oh, I miss TikTok. So I went back and a lot of one of the other like types of TikToks that went viral on my page were like I do like flashbacks of going into certain stores, like, you know, when in the mall, when
absolutely
in 2008. So the specific Hot Topic TikTok that I made a while back, I did like a part 2 and it was like I was like talking about like Twilight merch and like people there's 5.2 million views on that video right now.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Truly crazy. Yeah. And yeah, it's and I've just kind of been riding that wave now. Like that I'm like 93,000 followers right now. So like I'm almost to 100 and like I don't know. Yeah, we're just kind of
it's almost like it's a discovery of like, oh, like let me just find the thing that I want to make and ye shall come, like, you know.
No,
like,
exactly. Yeah. And it sucks because like trusting the process like is such like a cliche phrase and like I hate
absolutely
even saying that. I hate that just came out of my mouth. But like it's true. Like sometimes you just have to like just post what you want to post. Like, and obviously like I posted the Millennial versus Gen Z stuff because I thought it was funny too in the beginning. Right. Yeah. And that was something that I felt was relatable and like silly. And so I do enjoy it, you know, but it was like when I felt like I was like making them and posting them for other people and not so much because I thought that they were funny was when everything was not doing great. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
And it's self-discovery.
Exactly. Well, and it's so fun that you found like so much to do with it because like if you check out Angie's like TikTok right now, like you include like a lot of sketch comedy, creating characters, and even like essentially doing stand-up in some ways when you like have videos that are like talking about like commenters that are like doing ridiculous things. So you have a chance to like play around with all of that stuff. And it makes me wonder, like, do you ever think you'd try your hand at like writing things for other people, or do you like doing it for yourself more?
Yeah, that's tough. I have thought about that because you know, when people ask me like who some of my like role models and like influences are, like I always say Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, like they're two of my my most favorite, you know, comedian ladies. Yeah. And they write and they star. So I feel like I'm not as great of a writer as I am like an actor, but like because when I'm writing for myself, like if I write something down and you know when I go back to it and it sounds stupid, I'm like, okay, but I knew what I wanted to say here, so if I can just like improv that part, like it'll be fine because improv is something that I'm really comfortable with too,
right?
So I feel like I kind of, if I wanted to do any sort of writing, like I would definitely want to do like a sketch writing class because I have like good ideas, I just don't know how to like.
You're like, how do I translate them for other people?
No, exactly. It's like, okay, so this is in my brain, but like you can't read my mind. That's weird.
You're like, that's really strange. No, I have that issue because like I took a playwriting class at Villanova and like I of course going into it, I was like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But like I know a huge part for me is like understanding like, oh, like I can't put everything in the stage directions because like the director brain in me wants to like block it.
Fully.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I have to leave something for the director to do. So like I get that. It's an interesting thing of like, okay, how do I communicate this, but also like maybe give them their freedom, I guess.
Yeah, right. It's like maybe we let the artist do a little bit of the art. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe crazy idea.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. Like especially, I mean, the one of the ones that I posted recently was kind of like an inside out type thing where like it's like POV, like you're falling asleep and it's like
yes, that was one of the ones I just watched like recently when I was like scrolling through.
Yeah. So I mean that one was super fun, because it was
so fun.
something that I don't usually do, but like I had that idea, but I was like, I don't know how to like do this. So I have one of my friends from high school. His name is Tim. He helps me out with like, he was the videographer for the Celine Dion video. He
Incredible.
like helps me with all of my like,
because there's some good cuts in there.
Yeah.
And you like, you don't know that they're happening. Like,
yeah, he helps me with the videography, the editing, like the writing, like literally everything.
Awesome.
I'm like, Tim, these are my ideas. Help it happen. And he's like, okay, we got to do this, and this, and this. And what if we did this? And like, he adds like he's funny too. So, he like helps me like punch up certain parts. Like, so we're really kind of like a dream team. Unfortunately, he has like a 9-to-5 job that he actually like also has to care about. And I'm like, but what if you quit?
What if you just
help me be a content creator?
What if you help me all the time?
Yeah. What if you just were on call for me all the time? No, you can't do that. Why not?
Oh my gosh. So this will bring us then to some Instagram questions that we had submitted. So that's always fun. The first one is from Chris XC34. You seem to have a special connection to the time around 2007, 2008. Why is that?
Yes. So I just kind of feel like those years were just so like simple. I mean, obviously 2008 was like the stock market crash. So like it wasn't a great time
like at our age.
Right, at our age. And I also feel like, now that we are like the youngest millennials, right?
Yeah.
So, and we are kind of coming into this like weird mid-20s where we're trying to figure everything out. But like, the planet is dying and like the economy is a mess. And like, we're trying to figure out like civil rights issues and all of these things like that are just going on. And like, 2007, 2008 was like that sweet spot where I just feel like, I was watching Hannah Montana and like, I was like, just had like these big dreams to like be on Broadway, as I mentioned. And I just like, everything was just so much like simpler. And obviously, when I was that age, like I was dreaming about being 25 and being like a woman and all these things. And like, but it's just, it's nice to kind of like think about those years where I'm like, wow, like that, like, some days most days I don't, but like some days I'm like, wow, like I wish like, I was back just watching Hannah Montana in my living room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's definitely like that nostalgia side of it while also appreciating like, okay, it's a mixed bag because it's like, I so appreciate that I'm not where I thought I was going to be at 25, but I also like, it's that funny place.
Yeah. No, I was talking about this with one of my friends the other day, like just how like crazy time is.
Yeah.
Like how we were looking through like our old high school yearbook and stuff. And we were like, we are so different. So different. And like, never did I ever think if you asked high school Angie what I'd be doing at 25, high school Angie probably would have said like, oh, I'd probably be married, like, maybe like have been on Broadway already, like kind of thing. I'm like, girl,
you had
girl. No.
Yeah. No.
Simply put, no.
Simply put, no. But that's okay. And that's also,
and that's okay. Yeah.
And that's so fun about it too.
Yeah. Just learning about like where I am now versus where I thought I would be it's interesting and it's cool to discover where I'm going every single day.
Yeah, exactly. And another question from Chris. What are some differences between performing in theater and TikTok that fans might not be aware of?
Okay, interesting. So I feel like for TikTok, it's a lot more like acting for the camera wise.
I was just thinking about that because I think we had acting for the camera together too, which is really funny.
Yes, we did. And a lot of what, Bryant, our teacher, said was like, it's not as dramatic. It's not as larger than life. It's not as like, crazy, which is something I really need to remind myself of when I'm making the TikToks, because like sometimes it is funny, like to do like a dramatization of like what it was like, because people are like, oh my God, like, yeah, that's so funny and awkward or whatever. But like, sometimes it edges into like like, this is just cringy. Like, I know we were bad, but we weren't like that bad. You know what I mean? Like, so
trying
sometimes
to find the sweet spot in that comedy.
Exactly. Sometimes like, I watch stuff back and I was like, ooh, okay, maybe let's like dial it down and make it like a little more realistic. Like, but
that's like the difference. Like, this is something very silly, but like the difference between like Parks and Rec and like The Office for me, like, because I have this thing where I love both of them. They're great, but I think Parks and Rec sometimes punches it up a little bit where I'm like, okay, that felt a little unrealistic. Whereas Office goes so far in the realistic direction that you're like, oof, that hurts. And I think there's a little bit of that in there with what you're talking about.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, like there's definitely a time and place for like absurdism, right? And like and I'm all for that. But sometimes I'm like, okay, well,
where but like in terms of where the comedy is landing, maybe I don't want it to be that absurd.
Exactly.
And then our good friend Liam Abate submitted a question. He said, what are some things that performing on tour has taught you?
Oh, well, thank you for asking, Liam. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, really like taking care of my body and just learning how to tour smartly, if that's like a word. Like, also learning how to pack too. Touring really taught me that I don't need like 20 shirts. Like, I can really like deal with just 10. And I will more than likely buy 5 while I'm on tour.
That's another part of it too.
Yes. So I'm like, it's funny because, I'm getting ready to like start packing now and stuff. And I'm thinking about the things that I need to bring. And I'm like, you don't need the yoga mat, Angie. Like, you're not going to use it. Like, I know you feel like you need it, but you just don't,
Yeah. And it's like, if I really am going to do yoga, I'll probably do it on like a carpeted floor.
Exactly. Or like, I'll use a towel that that wardrobe provides. Like, it's like, things that you don't realize that like you can buy, like, because when we start our rehearsals, we have to fly to Nashville. So like, I'm not going to pack, my like huge thing of shampoo. Like, I'll just buy it when I get there, because since Baby Shark and Blippi are bus tours, like the weight of our stuff doesn't matter once we get there,
That's helpful. But it's just like the flying before that, you're like,
I'm like, okay, maybe I can wait to buy,
like, toiletries exist in other places.
Exactly. I'm like, they do have Target in Nashville, Angie. Like, you can get, your lotion elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to buy the 3-pound bottle from Costco now.
No, literally me though. Oh my God. Yeah. And speaking of that, you've got something exciting in the works. What all are you allowed to tell and not to tell?
Yes. So I will be going back for one more last victory lap with Baby Shark. Yeah. So I will be touring until mid-June of this year.
That's exciting.
Yeah, back with Baby Shark. It'll be very interesting. Again, like, we have no idea what's going on with Omicron, and what that means for the theater world. And tours are getting canceled and postponed like left and right. But as it stands right now, I will be touring until mid-June, back with the Shark one last time. So.
And of course, as with most things, hopefully the trend is that it's getting like less and less. I see, like, hoping that we have hit our peak, or we'll be hitting our peak soon, so that everything will all go well from there.
Yes, we can only hope. I mean, God, truly. I just feel like every time I go on Instagram, I see like another show that's closing because of COVID, and it's really sad. I feel like. A lot of careers, like, people can do stuff online. People can, people with 9-to-5s are fine. Let's be honest. Like, they're fine. People who perform for a living to crowds, whether it's concerts or, if you're a comedian or whatever, like, we're not fine.
Jobs that literally require other people.
Right. Jobs that require like large gatherings of people in order to make money, you know?
And like it only works so much virtually.
Right. Right.
Like,
It's
there
just
was
not the same.
Zoom theater existed where it needed to, but
Yeah. Yeah, but we're past it, you know?
yeah.
Like I'm so excited for the day when we can finally just like go like mask free into a theater and not have to worry about, you know, the actors catching COVID, us catching COVID. Like, you know, I
Being able
really
to
hope.
stage door again.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I know. Like I hope that day comes, you know, sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And with those lovely thoughts, I think we've reached the end of this, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Where can, in terms of like social media and things like that, where can we find you?
Yeah, so I am at acuz31 on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, even though I don't really use Twitter. And I'm Angie Cocuzza, Facebook. You can my website is just angiecocuzza.com, just my name. And also on YouTube, you can see some of my reels, you know, performance videos. I have my TikTok on the Today Show on my.
She's a really great hip hop dancer. Just throwing that out there.
Yes, I love hip hop. That is one of my other like passions. So there's lots of there's like a music video, like a little music video that I made with my friends, and some other dance reel stuff on there too. So
such good stuff. And just to plug my own stuff really quick, Instagram and Twitter, I'm at Laura_Marjoram. Like Angie, I'm not really on the Twitters all that much, but definitely on Instagram. I have my website, www.lauramarjoram.com. You can find this good old show on Instagram at Overtures Show. There's 2 S's. It looks weird, but that's okay. And then YouTube, search Overtures Show. That's where you'll find where you're watching this video currently. And next stream, it's at 5 o'clock. So come join us.
Go get a snack and come back.
Literally, it'll be with my good friend Ryan Henry. It's going to be a grand old time. But yes, Angie, do you have any final thoughts for viewers live and in the future?
Just you know, if you were that 4-year-old in that Little Mermaid dress singing for the New Jersey 1.5 talent show, and you have those dreams, keep believing those dreams, y'all. Theater ain't dead, and it won't be dead. So
no. If it can survive a plague,
yes,
like the old one, we
can do it again.
Yeah. And with that, thanks everyone for watching, and
thanks for having me, Laura.
Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for